Michael Holding, what a pleasure it is to talk to you on our first ever podcast. We're going to get right into it. A lot has been going on in West Indies cricket. Of course, the team was announced on Tuesday to go to India to play against Afghanistan and the Indians. And then, of course, the coaching job given again to Phil Simmons for the second time. Was that a surprise to you?
Well, Barry, I can't say I was surprised when I heard that he had applied for the job again. I thought, okay, good. That means he's not upset with West Indies cricket, that he's going to turn his back. Good to know that he has applied again and he's still interested. And since he has been doing so, that wherever he has been, whether it has been domestic or international, I figured, well, this is the right man for the job. Give it back to him. He did a good job while he was there for such a short period of time. Let us give it back to him and see how things can develop from there. And I'm glad that he got appointed.
When you look at the work that Floyd Reefer did over the interim period, was there anything of a positive that you would take out of what happened with the West Indies in the interim period that Floyd Reefer had taken over?
Barry, this was too short a period to really judge it. He had the job for a very short period of time. The West Indies didn't have a lot of positive results from that. But at the same time, you can't say I thought that it was his fault. It's too difficult to judge someone over such a short period of time. As a coach, it takes some time to develop a certain culture that you'd like within the team. And it would have taken a bit more time for him to really have a stamp on the team. And I wouldn't want to judge him on such a short period of time.
You look at the fact that Desmond Haynes, he also was part of the application process. He had a stint already as batting coach. Could there be some room found for Desmond Haynes? And, you know, if you had to perhaps say to those powers that be, don't diss Desi, where would you find room for Desi, and what role would you find for Desmond Haynes in this squad?
Well, first of all, Barry, I would hope that a lot of the other people that applied for the job, that they are qualified in some respect, especially those who made the shortlist. So I would hope that they wouldn't just turn their backs and say, okay, Phil Simmons is the coach, that's it. The rest of you can sit down and wait until something else comes up. I would hope that Phil Simmons, Simo himself, would look at the people that also applied and think to himself, okay, I can use some of these people in my setup. Let me try and get these people under my wing and help us and help this West Indies team. Because Desmond Haynes certainly has good qualifications as far as being a batting coach is concerned. He has done it overseas. I think he was at Middlesex for a short period of time as the overall coach, not specifically as a batting coach. But I think Desi knows enough about batting and has helped youngsters in the past with their batting that he could possibly be found a place for. But again, that is up to the West Indies Cricket Board and Phil Simmons, how they want to go forward.
Michael, how do you view West Indies cricket now since the election of a new president and vice president in March?
Well, as far as some of the structures that I've seen being put in place around the team, I'm quite happy with a lot of those. I've seen word that quite a few committees have been formed, and these committees have been tasked at looking at specific aspects of West Indies cricket and the development of West Indies cricket. Now, when I look at some of the names on these committees, I am quite happy again with some of the names that I see. Some of them I obviously don't know. But some of the names that I see, I'm quite happy with some of the names that I've seen, because I think those people can certainly add something to those committees and can help those committees to do their task. And I'm looking forward to seeing these committees come forward with their final conclusions, and hopefully the board will take all this on board, and then we can move forward as far as planning for West Indies cricket and the development of West Indies cricket is concerned. As far as the team itself now, that's another matter. Now, Phil Simmons has just been appointed the new coach. He will now have to build a team. Sorry about the double uses, but a team around the team so that they can now help the people that are in the top level, the guys who are now representing the West Indies, to really produce at their best. And one would hope that all these names that we have been seeing around the world, Barry, that have been playing all these tournaments around the world and have never played for the West Indies or have very infrequently played for the West Indies, one would hope that they will now show a bit more interest in playing for the Caribbean.
You look at the fact, Mikey, that Kieron Pollard has just taken over for the white ball aspect of cricket. Jason Holder still remains the Test captain. How did you view that particular going down, as you would say? Was it the right move to appoint Pollard?
Barry, I can't say if it was the right move or not. As you know, I don't follow 2020 cricket, which is what a lot of Kieran Pollard has been playing recently. So I have absolutely no idea what he has been doing in that regard and how he has been going in that, whether he has captain the team overseas. I have no idea.
Don't even.
Was a good move or not.
But Mikey, don't you even check the scores of T20s at all? Not even the scores you check.
I only follow cricket, Barry.
All right. Well, let's talk cricket. 50 over cricket then, and the Test version. Pollard is captain in the 50 over team. Do you think he stands a good chance there in the 50 over version, seeing how the West Indies did so poorly at the last World Cup and against India?
A lot will depend on, as I said before, whether all the people that are qualified to play for the West Indies will want to play for the West Indies. But I said I'm hoping that will be the case, because if that is the case, I think we can have a very good team, not just 50 over cricket, in Test cricket as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the people that will make themselves available and what the board will put in place to make sure that these people are comfortable in playing for the West Indies. If we can get all that sorted, I'm absolutely sure we can be competitive in both forms of the game around the world.
You have a situation where Darren Bravo was one of the leading Test batsmen for the West Indies, and he was also doing pretty well in 50 over cricket. But he has been dropped from all versions of West Indies cricket for the meantime. He's been cruelly out of form, but he's still, many would consider to be a great asset to the West Indies. He still has a contract to play for the West Indies and in West Indies cricket, but he has not been picked for the tours to India against Afghanistan and India. How would you, perhaps if you had to give him some advice on getting out of this massive slump, what would you tell Darren Bravo?
Go to the nets and do some work. If you have a specific technical problem, and again, I don't know if that is the case, find someone who can help you with that technical problem and get it sorted. If it's just a matter of going through a bad rut and you don't know exactly what the problem is, again, find someone who can go to the next with you, who's highly qualified and skillful enough to look at you and to suggest something that may be going wrong and try and get it solved. Him being out of the team, I would hope he will not take it personally and won't be upset to the degree where he wants to pack it in, because I just read that Johnny Bairstow was left out of the England team.
Yes.
Now, Johnny Bairstow has produced for England in the past. He's still a young man. He still has a lot to offer to the England team. And I also read that the chairman of selectors, along with another selector actually went to visit him to sit down and talk to him. Apart from calling him to tell him the situation, to sit down with him and visit him and to talk to him. And I would hope that they'll do the same thing to Darren Bravo. He is too skillful and too talented a player to be just washed up on the shore. So I would hope that they will do a similar situation with him. If he needs some help, that they can go and seek some way of helping him so that he can get back into this West Indies team. He's too talented to be left out alone, guys like that.
Mikey, do you think West Indies cricket is on the right track?
Well, Barry, I've seen a lot of changes as far as committees and people looking at the individual, the specific structures of West Indies cricket and development West Indies cricket. This new administration obviously is the one that put things like that in place. One would hope that these people, these committees will do the work necessary. And again, I'll say, hopefully when they bring their conclusions to the board, that the board will take them on board and move forward.
Mikey, you said to me that you were very close to retirement as a commentator, but I just can't help but think your knowledge, your vast knowledge, not only in broadcasting, but we can't forget your extremely great record for the West Indies. Would Mikey Holden like some part and parcel to play in West Indies cricket, even in retirement as a commentator?
Barry, I don't want any official part of any administration of cricket, whether it's West Indies cricket, ICC, MCC, because I've been up at different posts more recently with the MCC. I don't want any official position. I've gotten a little bit tired of all, I shouldn't say all, some of the rubbish that I've seen going on around world cricket. particularly at the ICC level, that I would not want to be associating and getting involved officially. I am happy to help ad hoc, and I've helped cricketers, and I've given advice. I've given people on the various boards who have sought my advice, but I do not want to be officially part of anything. I've had enough of that. I've resigned off enough boards and committees. I don't need to resign off anymore.
So ironically, Mikey, you don't like 2020 cricket, but you're going to resign and you're going to call it a
2020. You don't add cricket after it.
Oh, sorry. Let me reverse that. You're not a fan of 2020, but you're going to end your career in commentary in 2020, the year 2020. That's quite ironic.
Well, that is what I was planning to do. But apparently my bosses at Sky have other ideas, and they told me I can't leave. So let us see how things develop from here on.
Now, we spoke about Bravo. We spoke about Kyron Pollard. Chris Gayle has obviously now bowed out peacefully. He was supposed to retire after the Cricket World Cup. He stayed on to play against India. But now he has not been selected in any of the squads. He had a pretty quiet CPL as well. How would you look back at the career of Chris Gayle, who is now seemingly been over and done with now where West Indies cricket is concerned?
I think Chris has had a long and successful career, both as a West Indies cricketer, as an individual cricketer, touring all over the world and playing cricket. He has had a great fan base. People have enjoyed watching him play. I wish that he could have done a bit more for West Indies cricket, especially in his latter years. But as we know, he and a lot of others chose to play a lot of other forms of cricket around the world instead of representing the West Indies for one reason or another. But that won't diminish from what he has done and what he accomplished for the West Indies. You know, I go back to many years ago. Again, as I said, the last few years, perhaps he didn't do as much of West Indies. But go back many years, Chris Gayle is one of the very few. I think there are a number of the number in world cricket is 4. I don't think there are more than 4, possibly 5 recently, that have scored 2 Test triple centuries. If you can do that, that means you have a bit of talent.
Yes.
So, you know, Chris Gayle certainly, as I said, the last few years, perhaps not has done as well for West Indies as a lot of people would have liked, or have even played for the West Indies as much as a lot of people would have liked. But I don't think you can take anything away from him and his career.
And your good friend Roger Harper, the new lead selector, or executive selector, I should say, for West Indies cricket. A good move to have Roger back in the cricket as well.
It's a good move to bring back all those people that were involved in the past who did a good job or even did a reasonably good job. Bring them back, get everyone back interested in West Indies cricket, see if they can add something to West Indies cricket. Because the depths that we have sunk, Barry, we need everyone who can contribute in whatever way that they can to try and slowly pull our way back out of the slump.
And how important is it, Mikey, for West Indies cricket to be back in the forefront of world cricket? They're at number 9 in almost all 3 levels at the moment. How important is it for them to be at least back in the top 5?
I keep hearing people all over the world say that world cricket needs a strong West Indies team. I know a lot of them genuinely mean that. I know a lot of them don't genuinely mean that. I think it is more important for the West Indian people, whether they are living in the Caribbean or not, that West Indies cricket gets strong and competitive again. We identify with West Indies cricket. There's nothing else we do in the Caribbean that is West Indian. Everything else we represent our respective islands. Even the University of the West Indies, which used to be all about West Indies, even now you have individual islands bragging about their campuses and not really focusing so much on the entire region. So West Indies cricket appeals to everyone in the region. Islands that have never even produced a Test cricketer or an ODI cricketer still talk about us and we. So it is important for us as a region and as a nation for our cricket to do well.
Mikey, we just saw the climax of that series in the Ashes, Australia and England, and at the end of it, we saw that the emergence of Steve Smith has come back in very strong to be number 1. But Virat Kohli is knocking very close on the door to regaining that position after a good performance against the South Africans. When you look at Kohli and you look at Smith, who in your opinion is a better batsman and who is more deserving of that number 1 title?
Well, take too much note of ICC rankings when it comes to either team or individuals. Those rankings are just numbers that people throw out, and it's being sponsored by somebody, so some money is being made off it. I look at teams and I determine for myself whether I think they're a good team or the best team or a mediocre team. I look at individuals and do my own determination of that as well. And I would certainly prefer to go and pay to watch Kohli than to watch Smith. Smith has a great value to his team. He scored a ton of runs against England, which he has always done. He seems to love England, whether he's playing in Australia or in England. And he is highly valuable, and one day will go down as a great batsman. But as I said, me personally, I prefer to go and pay to watch Kohli or Kane Williamson or even Joe Root.
Mikey, as we wrap up, I also want to discuss with you the fast bowling aspect of West Indies cricket. Are we producing enough fast bowling quality, and how can we get back to getting more fast bowlers in the West Indies? We seem to be producing a lot of spinners recently.
I would hope that the pitches in the Caribbean will be prepared to the degree where it will encourage fast bowlers, because if you don't have pitches that encourage fast bowlers, you're going to struggle. Look at India. India have started to prepare different pitches over the last 6-7 years, and they have started to produce a lot of fast bowlers, and they're now winning series away from home. That is what you need. Pitches that encourage fast bowlers. Look at the history of West Indies cricket, Barry. Look at the quickest pitches renowned in the Caribbean, Jamaica and Barbados. Where have most of the Caribbean fast bowlers come from? Jamaica and Barbados. In recent times, a few more have been coming out of Antigua.
Yes.
But Trinidad have not produced a lot. Ian Bishop definitely would have been a great but injury. Colin Croft out of Guyana. But those flat pitches that do not encourage people to run up and work hard because they're going to get results will not produce fast bowlers. So one would hope that the pitches that have the ability to be having good pace and bounce will be prepared in that manner, so that we can encourage our youngsters to try and bowl fast.
Mikey Holding, what a pleasure it was speaking with you. Enjoy your holiday. You soon have a lot of work in South Africa to do when England go down. Now I have you on that particular subject. South Africa versus England. Before you go, how do you see the series?
Well, I think that will be another close support series now. I think that will be as close as the Ashes. Under normal circumstances in South Africa, I would give South Africa the edge. But they have had a few problems, and although they are not going well in India, they haven't had fast bowlers that they needed it in India. Indeed, he has been injured. I think they're hoping that he'll be fit and ready for when England get down there. And if he's added to the bowling attack, that will make a huge difference. But it's going to be tight. Vernon Philander in South Africa will be a lot more effective than he has been in India. So that will be a close contest.
Mikey, thanks so much for joining us on our podcast, and we look forward to hearing much more from you.
No problem, Barry. My pleasure.